ওয়েলকাম এভরিওয়ান, ওয়েলকাম টু মাই চ্যানেল। আজকে এসএসসি জেই সিভিল পেপার 1-এর প্র্যাকটিস কোশ্চেন পেপার 2 নিয়ে আলোচনা করব, সিভিল অ্যান্ড স্ট্রাকচারাল পার্টে। তো চলো শুরু করা যাক। কোশ্চেন নাম্বার 101, দ্য রিলেটিভ ডেন্সিটি অফ এ সয়েল স্যাম্পল ইজ গিভেন বাই রিলেটিভ ডেন্সিটি আইডি ইকুয়াল টু ই ম্যাক্স মাইনাস ই ডিভাইডেড বাই ই ম্যাক্স minus E minimum. E max is the void ratio of the soil in loosest state, and E minimum is the void ratio of the soil sample in densest state, and E is the natural void content of the soil sample. It is expressed in percentage. So option B is the right answer for this question. Question number 102, the consistency index is given by, consistency index formula হচ্ছে WL minus W divided by WL minus WP. WL minus WP is called plasticity index or IP, and WL is the liquid limit of soil sample, and W is the natural water content of soil sample. Question number 103, the porosity of a soil sample is 0.40, then void ratio of the soil will be. We know the relation between porosity and void ratio of the soil sample. Void ratio E equal to porosity n divided by 1 minus n. So if we put the value into that equation, we will get E equal to 0.67. Option D is the right answer. Question number 104, the coefficient of uniformity for well graded gravel is greater than 4 for gravel and greater than 6 for sand. Okay, option B is the right answer. Question number 105, in clay minerals, illite mineral is made of ionic bond. Option C is the right answer. And kaolinite is the composed of H2 bond, and montmorillonite is composed of water bond. Option C is the right answer for this question. Question number 106, if the void ratio is known and the D10 is the effective size of the particles, then pore diameter may be taken as e to the power 1/3 into D10. Option A is the right answer. Question number 107, if water table rises above ground level, then effective stress remain unchanged, because effective stress is the stress generated due to intergranular particles of the soil. So in case of effective stress, there is no function of water table. Total stress equal to effective stress plus pore water pressure. So pore water pressure will be increased for this case if water table rises above the ground level, but effective stress will remain unchanged. Total stress value will increase and the pore water value will increase, but effective stress value will remain unchanged.
And pore water pressure coming from the water present in the pore spaces of the soil sample.
Question number 108, the pressure distribution at the base of a flexible foundation for all type of soil is uniform.
We know the loads are transferred to the soil through the footing. So the reaction force which acts upward to the footing known as contact pressure.
Option A is the right answer.
And the settlement is uniform for rigid footing.
Question number 109, if the void ratio is 0.65 and specific gravity is 2.65, then critical hydraulic gradient is. We know the formula of critical hydraulic gradient, IC equal to G minus 1 divided by 1 plus E. Capital G is the specific gravity and E is the void ratio. So if we put the value into that equation, we will get critical gradient IC equal to 1. Option B is the right answer. Question number 110, stress isobars are line joining points of equal vertical stresses. Option C is the right answer. Question number 111, sludge digestion tank or digesters involve aerobic suspended culture. Option A is the right answer. Okay, because aerobic sludge digestion is a biological process that takes place in the presence of oxygen. With oxygen, bacteria present in the sludge consume organic matter and convert it into carbon dioxide. It's an aerobic culture. Option A is the right answer. Question number 112, in an activated sludge plant, food to microorganism is the ratio equal to. Option B is the right answer. Daily BOD load applied to the aerator system divided by total microbial mass in the system. Question number 113. Reoxygenation curve of a polluted stream increases with time. Option B is the right answer. To counterbalance the consumption of dissolved oxygen due to deoxygenation, atmosphere supplies oxygen to water, which is known as reoxygenation, and it increases with the time of flow from the point of pollution. Option B is the right answer. Question number 114. The oxidant used for determination of COD, potassium dichromate and potassium permanganate. Option C is the right answer. Question number 115. The global warming is caused by the greenhouse gas like CO2, CH4. Option B is the right answer. Question number 116. Which of the following is not a primary air pollutant? CO, oxide of nitrogen, hydrocarbon, they are primary air pollutants. Sulfuric acid, O3, HNO3, they are secondary air pollutant. Option C is the right answer. Question number 117. If initial dissolved oxygen of a sewage sample is 6 mg per liter and final dissolved oxygen is 2 mg per liter, then dilution is 1%, then the BOD of the sample is, formula for BOD of the sample is within bracket this initial dissolved oxygen of the sewage sample minus final dissolved oxygen bracket close into dilution factor. So in this question the dilution is 1%, that means dilution factor will be 100. So if we put the value into the equation, we will get BOD of the sample equal to 400 mg per liter. Option D is the right answer. Question number 118. The pH value of fresh sewage is 8. Option C is the right answer, because we know fresh sewage is alkaline in nature. So option C will be right answer, 8. Question number 119. The process involved in chlorination before breakpoint chlorination are superchlorination. Option B is the right answer. Question number 120. If Vs is the settling velocity and V naught is the outflow velocity, or V naught is the overflow velocity, then a particle will settle in a vertical settling tank when Vs less than V naught. Option C is the right answer, because overflow velocity is the applied velocity. So if the overflow velocity is less, then the particle will settle in vertical settling tank, otherwise it will not settle into the tank. So option C is the right answer. Question number 121. The boundary between the pavement and the shoulder is known as curb. Option C is the right answer. Question number 122. Which of the following method is used for speed and delay study? Floating car method. Option B is the right answer. Question number 123. The radius of a rotary roadway is R equal to V square by 127 F. F is the lateral friction coefficient, V is the velocity of the vehicle, and R is the radius in meter. Option D is the right answer. Question number 124. Practical capacity is the maximum number of vehicles that can pass a given point during 1 hour without traffic density being so great so as to cause unreasonable delay. Option A is the right answer. And the maximum number of vehicles that can pass a given point during 1 hour under prevailing roadway and traffic condition is known as possible capacity. And the maximum number of passenger cars that can pass a given point during 1 hour under ideal roadway and traffic condition is known as basic capacity. So option A is the right answer for this question. Question number 125. Abrasion test on road aggregate is done to test the hardness of the stones. Option B is the right answer. Question number 126. Warping stress in a cement concrete pavement are due to the daily variation in temperature. Option A is the right answer. And seasonal variation of temperature is the frictional stress. Warping stress in cement concrete pavement are generated due to the differences of temperature in between the top and bottom of the cement concrete pavement slab. The warping stress are generated in a reinforced cement concrete pavement during summer midday is tensile in bottom fiber and compressive in top fiber. During daytime, the top surface of the pavement is at a higher temperature as it is directly exposed to sun than the bottom surface. Therefore, there occurs a temperature difference between the top and bottom layer which causes warping of the pavement. And the case is opposite in night time. So it is daily variation in temperature. Option A is the right answer. Question number 1 to 7. According to Lacey's theory, the hydraulic mean depth is given by R equal to 2.5 V square by F or R equal to 5 by 2 into V square by F. Option B is the right answer, where V is the mean velocity of water and F is the silt factor. Question number 1 to 8. The precipitation caused by the lifting of an air mass due to the pressure difference is known as the cyclonic precipitation. Option B is the right answer. And convective precipitation is the precipitation that occurs when the warmer air of the surrounding area rises up and cools. Then convective precipitation occurs. And the orographic precipitation is caused by the moving air of the surrounding area that strikes the natural barrier, natural obstruction like mountains. Then this air forms cloud in the upper surface and forms precipitation. So option B is the right answer for this question. Question number 1 to 9. The ratio of liquid limit to plastic index. No, the ratio of liquid limit minus natural water content to plasticity index for a soil mass is called consistency index. Option C is the right answer. And the ratio of natural water content minus plastic limit of the sample to the plasticity index is known as liquidity index. Question number 130. The performance of a well is measured by specific capacity. Option C is the right answer. Specific capacity is the ratio of discharge per unit drawdown of a well. It measures the efficiency of the well. So option C is the right answer. Question number 131. The first watering which is given to a crop is called paleo. Paleo not given, so actually cord watering is the watering when crop has grown few centimeters. So option C is the near option. Question number 132. The unit of duty is hectares per cubic. Option A is the right answer. Question number 133. The ratio of rate of change of discharge of the outlet to the rate of change of discharge of the distributing channel is known as flexibility. Option C is the right answer. Question number 134. If capital H is the total height of the building, then under transient wind load, the lateral sway at the top should not exceed H divided by 500. Option A is the right answer. Question number 135. The effective width of flange of a T-beam is given BF equal to L0 by 6 plus BW plus 6 into DF. Option B is the right answer.
L0 is the distance between the points of zero moments in the beam.
BW is the breadth of wave and DF is the thickness of the flange or depth of the flange. Question number 136. Lap length in compression shall not be less than. The lap length in compression is 24 phi and that is in tension is 30 phi. So option B is the near option.
And phi is the diameter of the bar.
Question number 137. For 2A slab, the amount of minimum reinforcement in either direction for Fe415, that is, shall not be less than 0.12% of the total cross-sectional area. Option C is the right answer. And 0.15% of the total cross-sectional area is for mild steel, Fe250. Question number 138. A simply supported rectangular beam of span 30 meter is subjected to UDL. The minimum effective depth required to check deflection of this beam when modification factor for tension and compression are 0.9 and 1.1 respectively will be. Span by effective depth ratio for simply supported beam we know 20. But when the span is greater than 10 meter, a factor is multiplied, that is 10 by span. So the final equation will be span by effective depth will be equal to 20 into 10 by 30 into the modification factor in tension and compression, that is equal to 0.9 into 1.1. So if we put the value of span equal to 30 meter into that equation, the effective depth small d will be 4.5 meter. Option D is the right answer. Question number 139. For stiffness criteria of a simply supported beam, the ratio of its span to depth shall not exceed 20. Option C is the right answer, up to 10 meter span. And if the span is greater than 10 meter, a factor equal to 10 by span is multiplied with it. Question number 140. For living state of collapse in compression, the relationship between stress strain distribution in concrete is assumed to be parabolic. Option B is the right answer. Question number 141. If a column is effectively held in position and restrained against rotation at one end and at the other end restrained against rotation but not held in position, then the recombinant value of effective length is 1.2 L. Option C is the right answer. Question number 142. Rapid hardening Portland cement possesses more C3S and less C2S than ordinary Portland cement. Option C is the right answer. Question number 143. Excessive amount of water in cement leads to low strength. Option A is the right answer. Question number 144. According to IS code, the flexural strength in Newton per millimeter square is given by 0.7 into root over FCK. Option B is the right answer, where FCK is the characteristic compressive strength of concrete. Question number 145. Which of the following is a water reducing admixture? Calcium lignosulfonate. Option A is the right answer. Question number 146. More circle can be drawn only for both stresses and strains. Option C is the right answer. Question number 147. Which of these is not a method to obtain deflection of beams? Double integration method, moment area method, strain energy method. They are the method to find out the deflection of the beam. But more circle method is not the method to obtain deflection of the beam. Option C is the right answer for this question. Question number 148. If two springs of stiffness K1 and K2 are connected in series, the stiffness of the combined spring will be K1 into K2 divided by K1 plus K2. And if the springs are connected in parallel, then the stiffness of the combined spring will be K1 plus K2. Question number 149. A uniform rise in temperature on a portal frame will cause no sway. Option A is the right answer. Question number 150. Quick lime is calcium oxide. Option B is the right answer, CaO. Question number 151. In the manufacture of bricks, tempering is the process in which the clay is brought to a proper degree of hardness and it is made for the next operation of molding. Option A is the right answer. Question number 152. The portion of a brick which is so cut that the width of one of its end is half that of a full brick, while the width at the other end is equal to the full width, is known as bevel closure. একটা ব্রিকের একদিকে আমি ফুল উইথ পাচ্ছি আর আরেকদিকে আমি হাফ উইথ পাচ্ছি, সেইভাবে আমি যদি ইটটাকে কেটে নিই তাহলে আমি বিভেল ক্লোজার পাবো। আর কিং ক্লোজার কাকে বলবো? কিং ক্লোজার হচ্ছে আমি একদিকে ফুল উইথ পাবো কিন্তু একদিকে আমি কোনো উইথই পাবো না, মানে কর্নার হিসাবে কাটা হবে, তো সেটাকে বলবো কিং ক্লোজার। আর কুইন ক্লোজার হচ্ছে ব্রিকটাকে যখন লম্বালম্বিভাবে কাটবো, হোয়েন ব্রিক আর কাট longitudinally the half of the width obtained at both ends, then it will be known as queen closure. And king closure is a portion of a brick which is so cut that width of at one end is full and width at the other end is the corner, that is king closure. Question number 153. In a tree structure, the outer annular rings between hardwood and cambium layer is known as sapwood. Option D is the right answer. Question number 154. Pick up the incorrect statement. Option A, CPM is an activity oriented network, right? Option B, part is event oriented, right? Option C, slack for any event may be positive, 0 or negative, right? Option D, float is always negative. No, float may be positive or negative. Option D is the right answer for this question. Question number 155. The functional loss in the value of property due to change in design, structure, fashion, utility, demand, etc. is known as obsolescence. Option A is the right answer. Question number 156. Annual depreciation is given as initial value minus salvage value divided by useful life of equipment in years. Option C is the right answer. Question number 157. The structure in which number of equilibrium equations are not enough to compute the reaction are known as indeterminate structure. Option B is the right answer. Question number 158. If a concentrated wheel load acts on a simply supported beam, then maximum bending moment will occur always below the wheel load. Option A is the right answer. Question number 159. The influence line diagram for reaction, shear force and bending moment for fixed beam will be curved. Option B is the right answer. Question number 160. In structure, Muller-Breslau principle is used for influence line diagram. Option C is the right answer. Question number 161. The force in the member EF for this figure will be 0. The member EF is the zero force member because see 3 members connecting at this joint. This member and this member. Okay, 2 of these member are collinear, parallel to each other, but third member is not collinear and no external load applied in this joint. So the force on this member EF will be 0 and it is a zero force member. Option D is the right answer. Question number 162. Fixed end moment due to a point load P acting at the midpoint of beam having length L is PL by 8. Option C is the right answer. Question number 163. In a turbulent flow in a pipe, the shear stress is maximum at boundary and decreasing linearly to 0. Option B is the right answer. Question number 164. Von Karman momentum integral equation is, option C is the right answer. Please keep in mind tau naught divided by rho u square equal to d theta divided by dx.
where tau naught is the wall shear stress in the boundary layer, rho is the density of water, and u is the velocity, and theta is the momentum thickness. And this momentum integral equation is valid for steady turbulent boundary layer.
Question number 165. The velocity at which laminar flow withdrawn is lower critical velocity. Critical velocity is of two types. The velocity at which laminar flow stops is called lower critical velocity, and the velocity at which turbulent flow starts is called upper critical velocity. So option B is the right answer. Question number 166. If alpha is the blade angle at outlet, the maximum hydraulic efficiency of an impulse turbine is 1 plus cos alpha divided by 2. Option A is the right answer. Keep in mind. Question number 167. Spherical shape of droplets of mercury is due to the high surface tension. Option B is the right answer. Question number 168. Center of buoyancy always coincides with the centroid of the volume of the displaced fluid. Option B is the right answer. Question number 169. If the thickness of the thinnest outside plate is 20 mm, then maximum pitch of the rivet in tension will be taken as 200 mm because its value either 16T or 200 mm, whichever is less. Option C is the right answer. Question number 170. Effective length of the fillet weld of length L and size of the weld is S is given by total length minus 2 into weld size. So option B is the right answer. L minus 2. Question number 171. If T is the thickness of the thinner plate, the distance between the centers of any two adjacent fasteners shall not exceed 32T or 300 mm, whichever is less. Option A is the right answer. Question number 172. Intermediate stiffeners are provided in a plate girder to check the diagonal buckling of the wave. Option C is the right answer. Question number 173. The principal rafter is designed as a simply supported beam. Option C is the right answer. Question number 174. For a tension member in which a reversal of direct stress due to loads other than the wind or seismic forces occurs, the maximum value of slenderness ratio is 180. Option A is the right answer. Question number 175. The curvature of the earth is taken into account when extent of area is more than 250 km square. Option C is the right answer. Question number 176. A 30-meter chain is divided into 150 links and 20-meter chain into 100 links. Question number 177. For ranging a line, the number of ranging rod required is at least 3. Option B is the right answer. Question number 178. Compensating error is proportional to the root over length of the line. Option B is the right answer. And cumulative error is proportional to the length of the line. Question number 179. The sum of interior angles of a closed traverse is 2n minus 4 into 90 degree, and sum of exterior angles of a closed traverse is 2n plus 4 into 90 degree. Option A is the right answer. Question number 180. The line drawn through the points of same declination is called isogonic lines, and the line drawn through the point of zero declination is called agonic lines. Option C is the right answer. Question number 181. If the whole circle bearing of a line is 170 degree 40 second, then quadrantal bearing is. The whole circle bearing of the line is 170 degree 40 seconds. So 90. Suppose this line, the angle whole circle bearing 170 degree 40 seconds. Okay, whole circle bearing always taken clockwise from north. So this is whole circle bearing. So quadrantal bearing is the bearing of the line close to southwest, northeast or northwest, whichever is closer. So here southeast is the closer of the quadrantal bearing. So this angle will be the quadrantal bearing. This angle. So this angle we know 180 degree minus 170 degree 40 second. So the angle will be 9 degree 20 second, and the quadrant will be southeast. Option A is the right answer for this question. Question number 182. In the whole circle bearing system, a line is said to be free from the local attraction if the difference between the fore bearing and back bearing is 180 degree. Option C is the right answer. Back bearing equal to fore bearing plus minus 180 degree. Question number 183. In plane table, the operation which must be carried out is orientation. Option B is the right answer. Orientation is the operation, is the process by which the plane table are kept parallel irrespective of the station transferred in the process of plane table survey, and by which the line parallel to the sheet over the plane table and the line over the in the ground are parallel to each other for this operation. Question number 184. An allied date is used in the plane table surveying for drawing lines. Option C is the right answer. Question number 185. A continuous beam shall be used to be a deep beam when the ratio of effective span to overall depth is less than 2.5. Option B is the right answer, and this value is 2 for simply supported beam. Question number 186. The bond stress acting parallel to the reinforcement on the interface between the bar and concrete are shear stress. Option A is the right answer. The stress developed when two elastic bodies are forced together is termed as bearing stress. And flexural stress is the bending stress caused by the bending moment. And local stress is the normal stress produced from the body when subjected to external loading. Question number 187. The lateral ties in RCC column are provided to resist buckling of the longitudinal steel bars. Option C is the right answer. Question number 188. For 2-point loads, the bending moment diagram is trapezoidal. Suppose this is a simply supported beam. If 2-point load is acting over the beam, so bending moment diagram will be like this. Apply the point here. The shape will be like trapezium. Question number 189. Inorganic soil with low compressibility are represented by. So it will be determined by plasticity chart. So plasticity chart is a chart where in y-axis it is plasticity index and in x-axis it is liquid limit of the sample. Both plasticity index and liquid limit of sample are expressed in percentage. And over this chart a line is drawn from liquid limit 20, that is called A line, and equation of this line will be 0.73 into WL minus 20. Above this line the soil will be clay, and below this line the soil will be sealed. And when the liquid limit value is between 35 to 50, it will be known as intermediate compressibility soil, and when the value of liquid limit less than 35, it will be known as low compressible soil. And if the value of liquid limit of the sample is greater than 50%, then the sample will be called as
high compressible soil. The clay soil is represented by capital C and the silt represented by capital M.
So it will be Cl or ml. Cl is not given, so ml will be the answer. Option C is the right answer. Question number 190. IS code for designing pile foundation is IS 2911 part 1. Option A is the right answer. Question number 191. Efficiency of pile group is always greater than 1 for non-cohesive soil and less than 1 for cohesive soil. But here the options are not given. So on an average you can write efficiency of pile group is always greater than equal to 1. Option C is the right answer. Question number 192. Most efficient joint is double cover bar joint, free from bending. This joint is free from bending. Option C is the right answer. Question number 193. The shear strength of a cohesionless soil is proportional to the tangent of the angle of the shearing resistance, because we know the formula of shear strength of soil equal to C plus sigma tan phi. C is the cohesion of the soil and phi is the angle of internal friction and sigma is the normal stress. So C will be 0 because it is cohesionless soil. So shear strength will be proportional to sigma tan phi. That means proportional to tangent of the angle of shearing resistance phi. Option B is the right answer. Question number 194. In manometer, the fluid whose pressure is being measured should have a density less than the density of the manometric fluid. Option A is the right answer. Question number 195. The number of hinges required for plastic mechanism to occur in the beam shown here. We know the number of hinges required for plastic mechanism to occur is ds plus 1. ds is the degree of static indeterminacy of the beam. So degree of static indeterminacy of this beam will be r minus 3. R is the reaction component. So in fixed joint it will be 3 and
Vertical reaction 1.
so 3 plus 1 equal to 4 minus 3. So degree of static indeterminacy will be 1 and the plastic hinge number of plastic hinges will be 1 plus 1 equal to 2. Option B is the right answer. Question number 196. Major principal stress at a point is 200 MPa. The radius of Mohr circle is 50 MPa. What is the minor principal stress at that point? Radius equal to major principal stress minus minor principal stress divided by 2. 50 equal to 200 minus sigma 2 by 2. So sigma 2 will be equal to 100 MPa. B is the right answer. Question number 197. The flow profile of a fluid depends upon Reynolds number. Option C is the right answer. Question number 198. The middle third rule is used for no tension. We use middle third rule for low tension condition. Question number 199. An egg-shaped section of sphere provides self-cleaning velocity at low discharge. Option B is the right answer. Question number 200. Which of the following is not a test for workability of concrete? Slam test, compacting factor test, floor table test. These are the tests for workability of concrete. But Vickers test is not used for workability of concrete. It is for initial setting time, final setting time of cement and normal consistency of cement. So option C is the right answer for this question.